Hello everyone. We will be doing this next run, Super Mario 64 DS. This is the jumpless category. The task for this category was created by Adeal, and Migu will be providing commentary for the run. Sit back and enjoy, everyone. Thank you.
All right, thanks for the introduction. So I think we should just get started because there's a little intro. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Super Mario 64 DS, the remake of Super Mario 64 on the, you guessed it, the DS.
Dear Mario,
In 2004.
I've baked a cake for you.
So
Yours truly,
the intro to this game is about 2 minutes long.
Peach.
So this game has a lot of changes from the original that are important for this run, which is so the category is called Jumpless. You may be familiar with the A button challenge from Super Mario 64. This is basically this game's equivalent. In this game, the jump button is B, so this is also referred to as the B button challenge. And in fact, it's possible to beat this game without pressing B at all, so this is a 0B press run. So this run was completed by Adeal back in October 2018. He worked on it for a few months back then. And the run was actually proven possible. The last B press was saved back in 2016. So it's been 5 years since it's been possible to complete the game without pressing B at all. The original game still requires 1 A press to beat, but maybe that's going to be saved sometime, but it's been a work in progress for a long time. People have been trying to save that one. But this game is actually possible to beat, and it's actually possible in under an hour, which is pretty cool. There's actually enough stars that are fast enough to get and make it pretty easy to watch in one sitting. So in this game, you start the game as Yoshi. And we're going to start to see some of the movement that's going to be used a lot in this run, and that's slide kicks. Slide kicks are going to be used all the time. Normally, the fastest movement is long jumping, but that requires B, so slide kicking is the way to go. The castle doors are actually unlocked, or are actually locked, so we have to get the key by catching this rabbit. Fortunately, the A button can be used to use Yoshi's tongue, which is going to be a very important mechanic in this run. We use it to catch the rabbit, but it's also useful for swallowing enemies, and a lot of strategies are going to use that mechanic later on. Now that we're in the castle, we're going to head to the first course, Bob-omb Battlefield. This is the only one you can enter now with so you have no stars. Yeah, slide kicking is faster on flat ground. It accelerates you very fast, and it's even though when you recover, the rolling out is like slow. So here we're going to ground pound the pole 3 times. Normally you're supposed to jump and ground pound it, but you can barely ground pound it by just kind of walking off the edge in a particular way and then ground pounding it. So this releases the chomp and gives us access to the star. There are a few ways to get the star without opening the gate like that, but not for the B button challenge. And there we were actually able to collect the star by using Yoshi's tongue to just eat it. That star is too high to just roll out into, I believe. You definitely can't, and since we can't jump, we need to use Yoshi's tongue. So now we're heading over to Whelm's Fortress, where we're going to get a few more stars. The other stars in Bob-omb Battlefield are either impossible or, sorry, they're all possible, but they're all too slow to get, or also require Mario which you don't have. Okay, so in Womp's Fortress we're going to do some more slide kicks and make it over to this warp here. And this warp places us right above the star Shoot to the Wild Blue, and we can just kind of fall and then get it. So a nice little strategy for getting that star without jumping. This run will unlock Mario eventually. You need to unlock other characters to beat the game, actually. It's possible to beat the game with only Yoshi. So we're going to use the warp again, and now we're going to go over to the Womp Fight arena. I'm going to use this Goomba to get on top of the elevator. Sorry, we're going to use the Goomba to get on top of the Womp. Keep this Goomba in the mouth. So if you keep the Goomba in the mouth for too long, then Yoshi will swallow it and make an egg. And wow, there are a lot of gift subs. Thank you everybody for the gift subs. So we can use the Goomba and bounce on it and get on top of King Womp, and that allows us to ground pound it. But we can only use the Goomba once. So for other hits, we can actually kind of stay on top of King Womp and then ground pound him like that. A really nice strategy. And there's the third star. So now we're going to use this Goomba to bounce on it again and get up here. Again, using being able to transport Goombas by eating them is a really nice ability that you can do in this game. It's not really possible in the original game unless you do what's called cloning, and that is hard to do in some cases. But there we just use the cannon to go all the way up to the top of the tower. Very nice that we were able to use the cannon. And in the original game, using the cannon requires pressing A, which is the jump button. But in this case, you can use A or B on the cannon. So the fact that we can use A, which is not the jump button, to use the cannon is really nice. So we're going to do the same strategy to get up to this area again using the Goomba. And now we're going to blast away the wall. You actually need to use the cannon to get the star, because the star doesn't even exist until you blast away the wall with the cannon. And then we do some slide kicks to climb the slope. Slide kicks are actually a really great way to climb up slopes in this game. You can climb up slopes that are very steep with slide kicks. And it's very convenient that you don't need to use the jump button to get up there, you can do it with only A. So we're going to get one more star in Womp's Fortress, and that's going to be the Switch star. Now, the Switch is inside this brick, so we have to use a glitch to clip inside it. So by zooming in the camera, we were able to unload the brick because it's only actually tangible when it's on camera. So we're able to get it barely off camera, which actually unloads it, and then Yoshi can just fall through. And then after pressing the switch, there's a certain amount of time that the star is inside that crystal, but it's definitely a very lenient timer, so it's pretty easy to get there. Okay, so the next goal is going to be to unlock Mario. That requires 8 stars, so we're going to get 2 more stars in the secret slide. Yeah, and chat, to bring up the null egg glitch, which is... don't know how to, I'm bad at describing it. I think it's you throw an egg while jumping on an enemy or something like that. And it can cause some weird memory manipulation, but no one's been able to find a way to actually make it useful. There's some really crazy things you can do with it though. Most categories implicitly ban it, even though it's not really useful, but in theory, it could be used to break the game, and so it's not used in this run. Yeah, it's theorized that you can do some SRM-like glitches with it, but no one's really been able to manipulate it the right way. So here in the slide, we're skipping a little bit by rolling out onto the to the side walls and then skipping down to the bottom. And now we have 8 stars, so we can rescue Mario. Mario's useful mostly just because he's has faster movement than Yoshi. Although, as we've seen, Yoshi has some cool abilities with being able to eat enemies. So there's some stars that Mario's better and some that Yoshi's better at. But also, as I said earlier, we need Mario to actually beat the game in order to spin Bowser at the end. We also need Mario to open the 50-star door, and I'll explain more about that later. So here's the Goomba stage. We're taking a cool path through those platforms. It's like getting on the piranha plant to get up here. And then we can ledge grab the platform after falling off the vine. And now we're bringing in a Goomba egg from outside into the battle. So in this battle, you're supposed to eat 3 Goombas and throw them at, or throw them and spit them out at Goombas. But you can basically skip the first phase by bringing in an egg from outside. And there's a second hit, and then a third hit. So you're kind of supposed to run around the arena, but you can just you can kind of just run around Goombas and lick the Goombas like that. Any egg works. Yeah. Any egg works for that battle. So there's Mario, we've unlocked him. But more importantly, we've unlocked the caps so that if you're Yoshi, you can start any level with the cap of characters that you've unlocked. So now that we have unlocked Mario, we can start the level with a Mario cap. And that's going to be very useful in this stage. So we're going to do a glitch called water storage, which is going to allow us to walk underwater. And it requires a shell. So the shell is inside that brick, which is why we need Mario, because Yoshi has no way of actually getting the shell inside that brick. So by getting on the water and getting on the shell and entering the water at the same time, we get this glitch called water storage, where you can just ignore the water check and fall inside the water into the loading zone. And now we can get the star inside the ship. Swimming you can do with the Y button, the same way as B. So you can swim the same way as normal. However, to actually get out of the water, you need to press B, so that's not possible in the B button challenge the same way. to get out of water, you would need to like have some land that you can walk onto instead of jumping out. So we're gonna do that same glitch again. Use Mario to break the brick, and then get hit by the Goomba to lose the cap and turn back into Yoshi. So what we're doing here is setting the shell down right on top of the water. Normally, when you spit out a shell, it'll fly away super fast, and then you can't ride it. But if you set it right on top of the water surface, then it'll actually be stationary, and then that'll allow you to ride the shell and enter the water at the same time. And this kind of skips the water check in a sense. So it's extremely OP for this level, because swimming is slow. All of these stars are possible the same way without the B button. It's not really necessary for this challenge in particular, it's just faster. Now we're going over here to get the chest star. Right there you saw that when we got to the surface of the water we started swimming, and that's because the check for water starts slightly above Yoshi's model. So when you get close to the water, it actually notices the surface of the water. And for this star you can actually just slide kick recover and grab it. This is another star in the original that they haven't found a way to get it without jumping yet. But this one, you can just recover right in to get it. So for once, we're not going to do water storage. Instead, we're just going to ride the shell and talk to the Bob-omb to unlock the cannon here. We also saw, I think this has happened a few times before, but you can ledge grab out of rollouts, which is another thing that makes this game slightly easier to do the B button challenge than the original's A button challenge. And again, using the cannon, you can use A for the cannon, and pretty much use the intended strategy for getting the star. Okay, so there's one more star in this level that we're going to get, and again we're going to do water storage. So to get this star in the jet stream, you can just use Yoshi's tongue and eat it. If you try to grab it normally, you will get pushed up by the jet stream, unless you're very precise about it, but in the B1 challenge you need to lick it. So we're done with Jolly Roger Bay, and we're going to move on to Cool Cool Mountain. Again, we're going to do this one as Yoshi, because there's some strategies that involve eating enemies that we're going to use to save some time here. Like kicking down that banister to save a little time. So first we're doing a slide, and we can use the shortcut here to save some time. The next one, we need to grab the penguin, Unfortunately, Yoshi can't eat penguins, so we have to use Mario to actually hold the penguin and bring it down to the mother. And then we did like a little sideways dive to get there. When you dive from land, you can actually, the dive goes in the direction that you're moving beforehand. So since you can change angles pretty fast using the touchscreen, you can dive in a, with a strange angle. So here we're doing a cool recover and ledge grab to get over here with the spin drift. And now we got a spin drift egg, and when throwing an egg, and if it hits an enemy, it'll actually give coins based on what sort of egg it was. So since spin drifts give 3 coins, each of those enemies is going to give us 3 coins when the egg hits the enemy. So we just got a few coins with that combo there. Now we use the warp to get back up to the top. Now there's a total of 77 coins in the slide, but 4 of them are inaccessible if you can't jump. So we have to get 27 before entering, and then get the 73 that you can get without jumping. And right here are the 4 coins you need to jump to get normally. So there's that 100 coin star. Normally 100 coin stars are pretty slow to get, but this one's pretty fast, because you can basically do the same strategy that you would do normally with just a few modifications, like you have to get a few extra coins outside. So for the last star here, we're going to get this spin drift again. And we've spit it right here so we can bounce on it and land in the place where the star Mario Super Wall Cake is. And we can just tongue and get it. A really nice strategy to bounce. That spin drift bounce is really cool that we can just get there. Because otherwise, not only does it save time, but it's I think there's another way to get there without the spin drift, but it's a really nice way of getting there. Without pressing B, I mean. Okay, so now we're actually switching to Mario because there's some things that we need Mario for. For example, we need Mario to actually open the door to get to Bowser in the Dark World. You need 12 stars, but only Mario can actually open the door. And as I said before, we need Mario to open the 50-star door later on in the run. So the final level is actually only completable with 0 B presses if you use Yoshi. And that's because of some strategy that requires eating a Goomba, which we'll get into later. But normally you're not supposed to even get to the final level as Yoshi. Fortunately, there's a trick that you can use to skip the endless stairs as Yoshi. But to do that, you need to get through the 50-star door. And unfortunately, there's no way to skip the 50-star door as Yoshi, even if you're allowed to press B, although I think you can use a new crazy glitch called quantum tunneling to do that, but that wasn't even known when this run was created. So this time, there was no way to skip the 50-star door as Yoshi. And that means you need to open the 50-star door. So that's why we need Mario, and that's why we need 50 stars as well. So basically, the whole goal of this run is unlock Mario, get 50 stars, open the 50-star door, and then go beat the final level as Yoshi. There we use the Goomba to get up onto this wooden platform. And in Bowser in the Dark World, we're getting the red coin star and also the switch star. On that slope, we can get a lot of speed with the slide kick, and then to actually get up to the place with the switch star, we can use the seesaw. And there's the final red coin. And we use the other Goomba to get up here the second time. And there's the red coin star. Now we're actually not going to fight Bowser, because there is a glitch we're going to do pretty soon to access the basement without the first Bowser key. But first we're going to get the red coin star here in the Tower of the Wing Cap. We don't actually need the wing cap at all, or in this case, in this game, it spawns all the question mark blocks in general. But the star is pretty fast to get. Okay, so now we're going to do that glitch I mentioned to enter the basement without the key. We're going to do some funny movement on the trapdoor here, and then slide kick into the corner, and do a glitch called Heaven's Portal. So the way this glitch works is by slide kicking, there's a piece of code that tries to snap you down to the floor. And if this is the floor beneath you, and if the detected floor is very low, basically the integer limit, the integer overflow will occur, and you'll get sent up to the ceiling, or not the ceiling, but the ceiling if it exists, or the top of the map, in this case. So we were able to get out of bounds very high, and then fall down to a seam near the basement door, and then run into the loading zone behind the basement door. And it's really nice that their loading zone actually does exist behind the doors, so you don't need the key to open them. So now we're in Shifting Sandland. That star was relatively straightforward, doing a nice slide kick to avoid the quicksand. And now we're getting the top of every pillar to open the pyramid. Again, tricky movement to barely avoid all the quicksand. Also, you noticed as Mario will occasionally dive instead of slide kick. And in this game, diving and slide kicking are very similar in terms of speed. But there are some differences that will make it so sometimes we want to dive and sometimes we want to slide kick. So for this star, to get the star in the bird's talons, we can manipulate this fly guy and bounce on it to spawn the star. And then twirl over to the pyramid, and then make it to the star with another slide kick recover. So next is Lethal Lava Land. In order to cross between the platforms, you can fall in the lava and then just get over there. As long as you don't fall in lava too many times in a row, it should be fine. So first collect the red coins with some dive recovers. And now we use lava boost to get over to the volcano. And we can use another lava boost to get up to this platform. About halfway up to the hot-fin volcano star. Little funny slide kick recovery in that corner. And then we can drop off this pole and barely ledge grab onto the platform. And then recover ledge grab to get up here and then get the star. Now by selecting that star in the star select screen, this block appears with such a shell in it, and this is very useful for getting around the stage. So it's fast, and you also can ignore the lava. Now to actually get out without pressing B, you have to fall in the lava, but that's fine. And then we just defeated the bully, and we can do some dive recovers up these platforms to get the star. So again, we're using the shell because it's really nice. And we're gonna get the bully star. Showing off that you can punch them, you can slide kicking them, and you can dive them to kill them. Push them off the platforms. Yeah, as Bobby Bob said, you can notice that you can kind of slide or dive off the lava. Right there. And I think this is the last star. We can just slide over and get the log rolling star without touching the log and without pressing B. So now we're going to head over to Hazy Maze Cave using a ledge grab to get over this platform. We're not actually going to get any stars in Hazy Maze Cave because there aren't any ones that are fast enough to get without pressing B. But we are going to get this star. The toad. But now that we have 30 stars, we can go open the 30-star door and get some stars in Dire Dire Docks. First, we're going to get the chest star. You'd have to touch the 3 chests, and then that will spawn a star. So as in back in Jolly Roger Bay, swimming is pretty much the same when you're restricted to using only the B without the B button, because you can just use Y to do the same thing. And for the next star, we're going to get the Manta Ray Ring Star. Barely swimming through 5 rings, and then the star spawns on top of that whirlpool. And now we're actually going to just leave the level. Much like the first key door, we don't need a key to open the store to get to upstairs either. But before we do that, we're going to go to Big Boo's haunt. First we're going to go to the Battle Fort, which is a secret level, where we're going to collect 5 silver stars. This is pretty straightforward, except we have to use the heave-ho here to get up to the higher level to get the first silver star. Kill the Goomba for the second one. Third one's inside this brick here. And the last one's inside the brick in the corner here. And the star spawns. I think this is the only silver stars we get in the run. Most of the other ones are too slow or to get with 0 B presses. Now we're gonna kill the 8 boos that have red coins here in the courtyard. Nice movement to kill each of these. And now we're finally actually going to Big Boo's haunt. So we're gonna kill the 5 boos first for the star going to Ghost Hunt. It's a really nice cover over that gap there. So the circle on the minimap is what appears when you use the touchscreen to control in this game. You can use the D-pad, like most people use the D-pad when controlling in this game, but you can use a touchscreen as well. And when you do that, it creates a little circle. And TASes, it's always better to use touchscreen because it gives you a lot more range of movement, a lot more angles to choose from. So we can use a recover to get up here, and a little punch kick trick to grab the star. So for the next star, we're going to go to the merry-go-round by falling through this that place. In that room, now we're in the merry-go-round, and we just have to kill 5 boos that come out of this painting, and then the big boo that spawns afterwards. The last star we're gonna get is the bookcase star. Using psychic recovers to climb the stairs. Like before, we could have climbed them. We could climb them because they're just raising, but that time we had to use psychic recovers to actually get up each stair individually. And then we can hit the first book with a psychic recover again, and then hit the next 2 books with punches. Yeah, every coin that you get after a level takes 1 frame to count up. So if you skip the coins, you can actually save some time. So now we're gonna do another Heaven's Portal to get upstairs. So it's the same idea as the previous one, where we slide kick into a place where it thinks that the floor that we're above is negative 2 billion units underground. And then we can just fall all the way into the loading zone to get to upstairs. Okay, so now we're in Wet Dry World. There's a very useful warp that we'll use to get a few stars here. It places us right next to the Shocking Airlift star, so that's a really easy one. It's simultaneously negative and positive because of integer overflow, whatever. Something like that. Anyway, so for the next star, we're going to use the Heave Hose to get up here. And we can grab this block and then do another block clip like in Whelm's Fortress to get out of bounds underwater. And then we can load the town area by swimming through the loading trigger while still staying out of bounds. And then we can swim all the way over to the star in the cage. It's a really nice way to get the star. Don't even need Luigi's invisibility. And you don't need to go through the normal way through getting to the town, which is pretty slow. And it's great that's not even possible without pressing B. So we use the warp again to get up here. There's a common theme in these few stars. And now the Heave-Ho barely gets us right into this plank. And we can just get over here and get that star. So there's 3 stars in Wet Dry World. Now we're going to do a glitch to skip the 50-star door as Mario. So by catching the rabbit right next to the wall, by catching the rabbit right here, you can actually wedge Mario right in between the rabbit and the wall and get pushed inside the wall. Using this, we can go out of bounds. And now we're going to do another Heaven's Portal on the stairs that lead to Bowser in the sky. So when we were in that room, the graphics weren't loaded because we didn't load the room normally by opening the door. But the collision's still there, and we could still do a Heaven's Portal on the stairs. And now we use that to fall into Rainbow Ride. So now we're manipulating this fly guy to come up here to the top of the pole. And then we can always this platform and get on the swing, wait for the fire bar, and then grab the star, swing in the breeze. Yeah, so you notice that it's possible to get past the 50-star door as Mario. However, that requires that rabbit, and the rabbits are in different places for different characters, and Yoshi doesn't have a rabbit upstairs, so that skip does not work as Yoshi. And we'll eventually need to get past this 50-star door as Yoshi. But for the time being, there are some fast stars to collect up here, so it's good to skip the door. So we did another Heaven's Portal, so now you can actually see what's happening by doing that Heaven's Portal on the stairs in the corner. And we entered the Tok Tok Clock. So here we're going to first collect the red coins. Some cool movement to collect the coins while the spinners are actually spinning. and without pressing B for that matter. So let's do this Heaven's Portal again. This corner is going to be used quite a few times still. We warp to the top of the map and then fall down into tick-tock clock again. And this time we're going to wait a little bit to get the clock on the random setting. So we're coming up here. Thanks to the random setting, we can get up here. I guess you can do that on the other moving settings as well. But now we manipulate the hand to move in the right place and get the hand get a hand pretty fast. There was some RNG manipulation involved to get the hand where it needs to be there. Okay, now we're going to do this Heaven's Portal again, but this time we're going to land in the area behind the mirror in the Snowman's Land room. So even though that room is unloaded, we can still get there. And in this game, there's a secret star behind the mirror. So we're gonna get that. There are other ways to get past the mirror without Luigi's invisibility, but without pressing B, I think this is the only way. But now, since we're here, let's get some stars in Snowman's Land as well. So we're climbing up here with some cool movement. And then we do another Heaven's Portal by sliding down to that corner near the ice triangle spawner, and then we can fall all the way down to get the Snowman's Head star. That's a really nice Heaven's Portal. It's possible to get that star without pressing B, without that glitch, but it's a little faster using that strategy. And now a more straightforward star, we can get the Ice Bully star. We're filling him with dive and a punch. And for the next star, we can use a spin drift to get on top of this rock area and slide kick over and get the star in the box. Okay, so we only have to get 3 more stars before we're able to unlock the 50-star door. So we're going to Talto Mountain. First, we're going to scale the mountain by doing a bunch of slide kicks up this slope. And then manipulate the Sly Guy to come closer so we can bounce on it and land on that slope, kick up it. So you can see that's a very steep slope that we're able to slide kick up over. And another slope that we can slide kick up, and then recover to get the star. Okay, for the 49th star, we can use this crazy box to bounce up to the mushroom. So that's a nice way of getting that star. Yeah, Spieljays are fixed in this game. They actually capped the backward speed correctly. And for the last star, we can talk to this toad and get star number 50. Using that punch trick again, punch kick trick to get it. So now we can finally open the 50-star door. So the next thing to do is just to switch to Yoshi and then go beat the final level. Now to get back to the lobby quickly, we can do a death warp here. By doing the Heaven's Portal glitch slightly differently, you can actually down warp instead, which kills you and spawns outside, because that's where it spawns you if you die in the castle. And then we can go to the lobby and switch to Yoshi. So since we still don't have the second key, we need to do the Heaven's Portal to get to upstairs again. But this is still faster than actually beating Bowser in the Fire Sea to get that key. Yeah, so to beat the final level without jumping, we need Yoshi, because there's a couple places where you need to bounce on an enemy. So since we've opened the 50-star door, Yoshi can just go inside. But in order to actually pass the endless staircase, we're going to do the final Heaven's Portal. Same glitch, but we can now use it to get to Bowser in the sky. And then go falling straight into the Bowser in the sky loading zone. Alright, so here's the final level. The final strat that was solved in order to make this challenge possible to actually beat the game without pressing B at all. So we're going to eat this Goomba and transport it all the way over to the elevator platforms. And it's very precise to do this. This is the one part of the run that no one's actually done in real time. But we can bring the Goomba over to the elevator and bounce on it, and then ledge grab here. The tricky part of that is transporting the Goomba, because if you keep it in Yoshi's mouth for too long, you'll swallow it, and also if it hits anything, it'll die when you spit it out. Also, that slide kick recover is pretty precise, because you have to have Goomba in a particular space and slide kick with the right speed and angle to actually get that ledge grab. So again, we're using more slide kick recovers to actually ledge grab onto these blocks. And now, for this pole, you can barely just fall on it and land on the platform. That's pretty precise. And then another Goomba bounce to get across those platforms. And now we're almost to the end of the level. One more Goomba trick to actually get into the pipe. You're gonna get up here and then eat the Goomba, spit it out, and bounce on it to actually enter the pipe. So that's how to get to Bowser 3, the final boss, without pressing B. So Yoshi can't actually grab Bowser and spin him, but if you wait long enough, he'll turns into a... And now, as Mario, we can beat the game the normal way. And this is why you actually need to unlock some character to beat the game. You can get here with only Yoshi. In theory. That actually hasn't been done because of the 50 star door. Again, you can't skip it as Yoshi. But even if you got here, you can't beat Bowser. But the Bowser Sky fight is pretty much the same as normal, and that's the end when you grab the star. So there you go, that is Super Mario 64 DS beaten with 0 B presses. Again, this task is all by Adeal, but many other people helped with actually finding the strategies to get all these stars without B presses. Especially Really Tall, who's the one who actually first managed to save that B press in Bowser in the Sky. And also Josh 65536 and Sharky are also people who helped with saving a lot of B presses. I did a little bit of work on working on the route for this task, but my work is very minimal compared to what everyone else did. Yeah, Adeal did all of the passing. So there you go. I should mention also, for 150 star in this game, it's actually possible to get all 150 stars without pressing B if you use a glitch that requires waiting for hundreds of years. So if you thought the glitches in this run were cool, like there's this one glitch that you can use to get every star in the game without pressing D. And it takes a total of like, I think 20,000 years is the estimate for getting every star without pressing B.
Yoshi.
But I think that'll be it for me.
Stars